But that's hard to do under pressure. All right, here we go.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, it's not my
keyboard's not even on. My coffee.
Turn up the volume.
Dang it.
Next step.
He can't turn that on. I spilled my coffee. This is...
Wait, you did?
Yeah, I hit the thing.
This is the intro to the podcast.
Quick, do something, Wren. Save it. Oh, man.
Yeah, got
Wow.
All right.
Masterful dance.
I learned a few days ago that that's just major chords in a row. And so I've been practicing.
In a
I'm not very
row?
good at it yet. What's up, everybody?
Hello, welcome back to the Quartercast. We, Niko and I are here today, and we got Jordan Allen.
Hello.
Yeah.
You expect like an air horn or something. It's just silence. Hello.
Hello.
Always honored to be here.
Yeah. So somebody in the chat just asked a question about the game Peak, and I just played it for the first time last night. It's like $7
Wait,
on
really?
Steam. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Is
And
it only on Steam?
It is. I actually don't know. I don't know if it's only on Steam. I'm just a PC gamer, so I don't worry about things like consoles anymore.
Wait, so it's first person
I like
climbing
playing
game?
stuff on my TV. I also like not having to connect my computer from the other room to my TV.
That's honestly why I stopped playing PC games. I'm already in front of the computer so much.
Yeah.
I can't sit
Yeah.
in front of it to play games as well. I
mean,
have
I
to be on
will-
the couch or something.
I will
Yeah.
if there's like a good enough game that I'm super
Yeah.
interested in playing, but
Yeah.
typically those games have been on console. Like, I don't know. I'm having a blast playing Donkey Kong Bonanza right now. That game's amazing. Super satisfying game.
It looks it.
Oh.
Wait, are you getting stressed?
Watching that guy fall off the cliff brought me back to last night.
So what is this?
All the way back in the
it's
day
a game
to
with procedurally
last
generated
night.
mountains, and you're basically Boy Scouts whose plane has crashed on an island. You start on the shore, and you need to climb. There's a freezing fog that's coming in. You need to climb to the top of the island to survive.
Is it multiplayer?
Yes.
Multiplayer only?
No, you can play single player.
Is it ideal to not
It's-
play
no,
single
it's a multiplayer game in
Um,
its core.
I'm sorry. This honestly just brings me back to my recent frustration of the lack of local multiplayer games. Like,
Oh yeah, me
I
too.
want to play something with my wife. Like
Yeah.
that's fun.
Yes.
But it takes two, and I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Unravel.
Then what else do we got?
The Nintendo Switch has the best options. By the way, I've really delved into this because like this has been a big thing for me the past couple of years with my kids. And like, Super Mario 3D World is fantastic. Super Mario Wonder is fantastic. They're both co-op games.
We did Luigi's Mansion for a while, but she gets super obsessed with like clearing every room.
Have you played
and
We
searching
Heart-
every because
Yeah,
there's
that's-
hints hidden.
No.
She's like checking everything, and I'm like, come on,
Now you're just doing chores in a video
Yeah,
game.
that's what it feels like. She's vacuuming all the sand in a room. I'm like, come on, like.
I actually, I would love to find. So Jenna doesn't play video games, but I would love to have like a video game that she can play with. So I've looked into
Same.
It Takes Two, Split Fiction,
Yeah.
same studio. And I'm like, okay, maybe she can get into that with me, but it seems like Split Fiction is a slightly more challenging game because she doesn't play games. So
It
it's like
Takes
one of
Two
those
is
where
like
it
the
has to be very
ultimate-
approachable.
Yeah, It Takes Two is the ultimate wife game.
That's what I keep hearing. So I'm like, maybe I'll get that
It's on
one.
the Switch.
It's good.
Yeah.
And
it's
there's
good.
certainly though an element of like grace that is required from whoever is the better of the two in
Sure.
anything.
Yeah.
Because like if you're, I mean, I've seen some videos online where the guy in this case is jumping through and swinging through the thing,
Yeah.
and is just now waiting for his wife who like can't grab a hold of like a very simple jump combo.
Sure.
And so he's just sitting there waiting, like, come on. She keeps falling down the thing.
Jenna is in the chat right now, my wife. She does play Beat Saber. She's pretty good at Beat Saber.
And DDR.
Yeah. I got her a DDR set for the PS2 for her birthday a
heck
couple years
yeah.
ago,
Oh, that's
which
cool.
included getting the PS2.
That's
No, I guess
cool.
it was like a lot longer than that. It was like 5-6 years ago. We had it for a while, and then I ended up giving them away.
Whoa, Reed Graves worked on Gang Beasts? Dude, I love
wait.
Gang Beasts. Gang Beasts is
What?
like a core formative game for me.
Wait.
Oh, man. I love Gang Beasts.
Yes, Gang Beasts is amazing. I
Wait,
still don't know how to play it. I don't think anyone does, really.
I know how to play it.
I mean, do you?
Mhm.
You actually do?
You can
developed
watch my
true
videos on
skills?
Node. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you've got actual skill.
Oh, I have views on my gameplay.
The flex. Wow, dude. I've got views.
Wow, I've
on
got
my
views.
gameplay.
Yeah.
Gang Beasts is so fun because literally it doesn't matter if you're good or bad to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
It's
No,
just
Gang
pure
Beasts is
chaos.
fun, for sure.
Yeah.
I've played Gang Beasts in all its different iterations with different physics systems. Like one of the very first like in studio parties we had, I set up Gang Beasts on a projector with a laptop and 4 wireless controllers.
That's awesome.
So it'd just be going in the background during the party and people could play it.
That's so fun. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and this is pre elevator level and like truck level and
It's so good.
oh man.
Oh man, that's so awesome.
Because what makes it fun is that the controls are. I don't know how to
It's all
describe it. They're not
physics-based.
janky controls, but they're like unwieldy controls.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the game mechanic.
You have this
And
ability
you're
to like,
grabbing
lift your
people and
arms.
lifting them up and like trying to throw them around. Meanwhile, they're using their controls to kind of like push against you in a way.
You can grab them and punch them. It's like it's all about remembering your right arm and your left arm. But your guy gets spun around so much, it's really hard to remember. But you'll be like this. You'll be holding on to them. You're like, oh wait, I can punch my right arm. Pop, and you hit them, and you grab them, and you punch them with your left arm, and then they lift you off the ground, and so you need to like boom, 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 and just pound them with both hands so you knock them out. And then once you do, like if you fall and you grab onto stuff, you can like with the same like button. It's a weird button combination. You can lift your arms down, but if you do it right, you can throw yourself back up onto the platform.
I can't think of anything scarier to me than being in Gang Beasts with someone who's like moving properly. You know what I mean? That's like Terminator level where you just can't stop them.
Yeah.
You know, they grab and they just throw themselves back up and start walking towards you.
Yeah, but Peak is really good. Peak's a climbing game, and like there's a hint of that Gang Beast inside of Peak, and the big thing about it is like you have a stamina meter, and like when you carry things, that's weight, and it takes away from your stamina
Sure.
meter. If you hurt yourself, that takes away from your stamina meter. If like so all these things take away from your stamina meter, so you have to really be strategic with how far you can climb.
That's like Breath of the Wild, right? Same
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, but like a little bit more gameplay oriented, and like the thing is when you fall in that game, it's kind of traumatizing.
Oh no,
because
really?
it's just like you've worked so hard,
Just like real life.
and then like, but the thing is like you feel like your energy meter goes down, yeah, and you're like, oh, I've overextended. There's no way out of here. I still have some energy left. Hold on a little bit longer. Maybe my friend can reach me. Reach out your hand, please. Hurry, hurry. No. And then you slide down the cliff. Boom, 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 and just it's gnarly. 'Cause you feel it coming. Like you're like, I messed up. This is not going to end well, and you have time to think about it.
There's something
man.
about that
Do you-
stamina mechanic that I absolutely
Yeah.
adore. Like you really have to think through what you're doing, unlike Uncharted, where you just
Yeah.
jump from thing to thing without a care in the world.
Yep. I had a moment last night. I was playing with Freddie. We were trying it out, and he had overextended himself and hadn't realized it until he started to slip. And I knew it was gonna happen. And so as he slips, I position myself and he's like, "Ah, Niko!" And I catch him as he falls by me. He's like, "Oh, my brother."
Don't let go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. There's a similar mechanic in Death Stranding, which is a game I've started playing recently.
The first or second?
The first.
Okay.
Because I was wanting to do the second, and I was talking to a friend, and he's like, of all the games to play, where you need to play the first one, he's like, Death Stranding. You'll
Yeah?
be so
See-
confused.
See,
I
that's
know,
the
I
thing,
know.
though, is
First
that
one's
like
already confusing.
I looked at Death Stranding 1, and I've read reviews about it, and I don't think I'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I
but
don't think I'll enjoy
Death
it
Stranding
either.
2 looks interesting enough that maybe I can give that one a shot. And I kind of just don't care that I
That's
would
okay.
be confused.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we all play Elden Ring. Like, it's okay to not know what's going on. But yeah, they have the same stamina mechanic. It's actually an incredibly zen game to a certain degree, where again, like navigating terrain, deciding on path, game planning approach is kind of the concept, and it's actually kind of fun in a weird way. But one of them is like when you're crossing a river. And if you're carrying more stuff, you have less stamina. It's all like balanced appropriately. But you'll try to cross, and different current levels drain stamina faster. And it's the same thing where you're like halfway through it, and you're watching how quick that stamina's draining. You go, oh, I'm too far. Oh shoot! And you just try to make it, and then you biff, and all your stuff goes down the river. No!
Oh no!
How did I do that? Yeah, it's fun.
So do you get upgrades in this game where you can get like more stamina?
I don't. Not really. Like if you eat certain foods, it'll give you like a little bit of extra energy, but that's a one-time use energy bar. So like when you really need it, you can use that. And you can see here, like, so you can also get hungry over time, and that takes away from your stamina bar. And you cure your hunger by finding food, and you'll find different fruits, but some are poisonous. So you have to kind of like, yeah, there you just got helped up. And so yeah, there's like this kind of like you're doing a constant calculation of like, do I have the resources I need? Am I carrying too many items? Can I reach this next ledge with the size of my stamina bar? Is it worth eating this food now, even though I'm not fully hungry? But it's like so there's all these little things that kind of like add to it.
If you eat food, does that weight still exist?
No, you don't. No, it doesn't.
should.
It should,
Yeah, legit.
but it does not.
Okay.
Then you go to the bathroom.
Yeah, legit. Imagine.
Yeah.
That sounds so fun, but there is no local option.
Not that I know of. No,
Okay,
there's
that
no
would
split
be
screen.
incredible. It feels like a really I mean, maybe it's hard to design that for a game or something. I don't know why they don't do it on most games like these.
I guess you make more money just selling
Multiple
copies to
copies,
people.
Like-
And everybody's got screens, so.
But I
why
guess
split it?
multiplayer options are great and all, but I think you'd move more units if, like, I would buy this right now if I could play it locally.
Yeah. Yeah,
I had more fun
I would
that way.
love more local games, 100%.
Yeah, it feels like an untapped
Yeah.
thing.
So
Dude, when the newest Halo game launched without local multiplayer, it was like, what is this? This isn't even Halo.
most core memory.
Granted, I was playing on
yeah,
my
what
computer
the heck?
at home
Come on,
alone,
Halo.
That's crazy. That's
so
like
it didn't impact me anyway. I was just like the
Dude,
like
between
the
that,
idea of it.
between that and the Master Chief Collection coming out like a week before Christmas, and I go back home to Minnesota, and like I'm with my friend, and we load it up, and we can't wait, and nothing works. Like that, and then Halo Infinite not having locals, like nah, I'm done.
yeah,
It's like clearly you guys are just trying to milk me for money, which
you lost me.
you know.
Yeah,
Apparently they've improved it since.
I feel the same thing about BioWare, like Mass Effect.
Last video game thing. Have
lost
you
me.
guys heard of or played Mage Arena?
Mage Arena?
Mage Arena.
Oh,
Is that not VR? It's
It's a PC game.
a PC game.
It's a $3 game.
Oh wow.
It's so the main thing with this game is you're like doing capture the flag as wizards, and you each have a castle,
okay.
and you have a spell book, and in the spell book are spells, and to cast the
That's
spells,
That's Sam.
to cast the spells, you have
that's
to
Sam.
say the spell name. So it's an actual
mic.
Yeah, in your mic.
Oh my
Love
gosh.
that.
And to get audio is always on in the game. So you'll be walking through the woods,
Totally Sam.
and you'll hear freeze, and then like you'll look, and a freeze bolt will come out of the woods, and you'll dodge, and you'll be like fireball, and it'll go flying past, and you'll hear them start talking. Yeah, it's really fun, and like that outside of like the combat and shooting spells at each other with calling out the words, there's like some cool dynamics happening where like there's like a map of hexes, and like you capture these different like territories, and you'll get items from them. And then you can craft items, and like the items are these wacky magical items. Like I forged a shrink ray, and we're like, what do we do with this? And like I cast it on one of our teammates, and he gets really tiny, and his voice pitches up. He becomes like a
that's
little
cool.
cartoony dude. And like we're sitting there like, what is this for? And then we're like, wait, you can sneak in through the windows of their castle now. And then Freddy's like, do it to me. And so I shrink Freddy down. And these two guys go running off. I'm like, I'm going to go to the middle of the map and just start shooting fireballs and stuff and distract them. And sure enough, they sneak in through the windows and capture the enemy base. And it's like,
Wow.
That is cool.
Wow.
That is so cool.
and of course you have to be quiet when you get to their base because they will hear you if you talk to your teammate.
Oh, sure.
Because you have to be in in-game audio to
The sound
cast
is
your
on.
spells. So it's like you actually have to be quiet. It's pretty fun. And for $3, it's hard to go wrong.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
That's such a fun concept.
There's another moment where you can find spells out in the wild, these torn pages. And so we're running as a group, and we find a spell, actually on a dead body. And my buddy D, he picks up the spell, and Freddy's like, what is it? And he's like, Death Blast? This blast incinerates Freddy and kills him. It was such a good moment. Just watching his like wizard hat slowly float to the ground after like turning into ash. Yeah,
That's awesome.
like, you can't be mad even though totally got wiped. Yeah.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
So the Avatar 3 trailer's out. What
It
is
is.
it?
Yeah,
What is
speaking
the
of
song
fire,
of fire and ash?
effects.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be
Fireballs.
filming React tomorrow, and we'll probably take a look at it, which means that React video will be out in a month.
Yeah, I feel like we shouldn't do trailers on React because it takes so like you need to be on it for trailers.
No, I hear
know?
you.
What do
But-
you mean you need to be on it for trailers?
Like
The timeliness of
timeliness, but
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But what
Okay.
about just doing it here in the podcast?
it. No, we're definitely doing it here.
yeah.
Let's take a look.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen a single thing.
Me
Oh, you
neither.
haven't seen it at all?
Me
No.
neither.
Oh, really?
I've been holding off.
I feel okay. Nice. This is here you go. Live VFX artists react for
sweet,
the
innocent
podcast.
eyes.
Do you want to make
I
sure
feel
the
like
TV volume?
Podcasts are where we do the trailer reacts. You
That's
know?
fair. Yeah.
Ren, do you want to make sure the volume's up over there?
Oh, I got it.
I
Right
thought I
here.
left the remote over there. Oh, never mind.
Can you ding?
Do we
the,
need audio?
ding the windows? Yeah, we're good.
All right. Well, I mean, I figured you might want to see some.
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah, it's not that loud. I am gonna see this in theaters.
Yep.
I'm gonna
Oh,
see
yeah.
this on the biggest screen I can find.
I'm just kind of generally at a point where anything is possible.
It's good that you're believing in yourself to that extent.
The crispy crunch.
So pretty.
Jeez.
Dude, jellyfish. Dude, volcano.
Oh man.
I think that's
Dude,
the
the
old
CGI.
tree from the first movie
You're right.
Oh, rip.
in Ash.
It's funny because like it doesn't look photoreal, and then you see people in it, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, they look completely like they're part of the environment.
Yeah, the
Like,
integration is unmatched.
Yeah, because when it's all CGI, like it looks like really good CGI to me. You know, like it feels like I'm watching animation, not in a bad way. I'm not saying like you know.
Sure.
But then the
I
moment
think it
there's
depends.
Yeah, but-
Depends on the shot.
but the moment there's
Even
a real
without people in it.
person. Well, yeah, I guess it depends on the shot. But the moment there's a real person in there, they blend perfectly with the shots.
Oh, like that
Yeah.
shot's crazy.
Man,
And just so much of that like crisp detail.
this movie's so blue. Oh, they're the ashy ones.
The ashy ones.
The fire and ash ones.
Oh yeah, there's our fire.
So you think when he pitched this, he's like, Weta, you're going to build me a physics engine over the course of 20 years. We're going to start with foliage. And
It's
then we're going to
genius.
go to water, then
This
fire.
prison. Hey, is that Jupiter? I know it's not
It's like
Jupiter. Ooh, infighting, Civil War.
Dang.
Dude, the
Yeah,
freaking
that
Spider-Man.
him
Man.
sliding down full CG rocks in
Yeah.
full CG environment.
Is he just full CG?
Like
Or is
maybe
he
his
wonder?
body.
I don't want to. I don't want to say.
Legit-
I don't want to say. I don't
Yeah,
want to
we're-
go there again.
No more guessing when it comes to Avatar. Weird addition of the pop-up.
You know, he'd probably just keep his face and replace everything else.
Well,
mean,
also the visor
maybe
and
not.
the reflections on the visor and the.
Like, look at that. That's crazy.
Look at his literally look at the veins in his hand.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh, dude. Those little micro hairs. That might be my favorite shot.
This
That's
one
so
right
That
here.
is so cool.
The
It's so
movement is so
dynamic. It
good.
feels completely real. 100%.
And their hair.
Yeah. All that hair.
All that hair. You're right. Like
And I don't know. This doesn't look to be any more advanced than Avatar 2, if I'm being completely honest. It looks like the exact same as Avatar 2.
Mm-hmm.
And to be clear, that's not a bad thing. It did win like the Oscar for Best VFX. It was a
Legit.
groundbreaking effects movie.
and it only came out
2 years ago?
2 years ago. Wow, that was fast 2 years. But I mean, they were making
it was 2
all
years.
of
Maybe it was
weren't they
Dude,
to some
look at
degree
that.
making
Look at
all
that.
these in parallel with each
That's
other?
got to be a CG body. There's no way.
What with the integration of him being caught and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's I can't imagine.
I mean, maybe. They were doing that on the first movie 15 years ago.
Well, that's the thing is
Remember the shot where he's like, because he was in that capsule at the end of the movie and it's cracked open and he's starting to like suffocate and then she breaks in and is holding him in his arms and
Yeah.
it's like the size
Yeah.
difference between them is crazy but he's a live action plate and she's CG. and,
so nuts. What I love is we can't really go off the visuals to make a
Dude, her
guess
teeth.
at this point.
Look at her teeth.
We have to go based off the context of the action because I don't know if you guys remember, but when Eric Sandin was on the couch, he said that basically the reason they don't go full CG sometimes is just directability for Jim Cameron
Yeah.
and a body falling into someone's arms. Do you want to like micromanage the directability of that, or are you just like, yeah, he falls into the arms?
Right.
If it's just he falls into the arms, then go full siege with it. If not, like that, I'm sure sliding down with the rock, he's probably more important to get the exact thing they're going for.
That's right, because it takes so long to dial in a CG performance because
Yeah.
you're talking to like 10 different people and
Back
they all
and
have to work
forth.
on it for days and then they give it back to you and you're like, not quite what I meant.
Yeah, but for
Versus-
Spider, a lot of the time they would film the live action plate, but they would still replace so many parts of his body. Like
Yeah.
all of his legs were usually always replaced because they're
Yeah.
interacting with water, and it's easier just to redo the legs and integrate that render into the simulation and all that stuff, rather than trying to composite the live action plates of the feet. and
Can
the
you imagine
legs.
being that good at visual effects? You're like, no, I can just do whatever. Like I can replace anything, whether it's a human being, a close up of their nose, an entire city. It doesn't matter. I can replace it. I can generate anything.
Do you know if this is also going to be another high frame rate movie?
A very
wonder.
yeah, they're I think they're using the same variable frame rate approach on this one that they did in the last.
Because
one.
I watched Avatar 2. I specifically went out and tried to find the high frame rate version, and it was an interesting experience. I've always been a fan of 3D movies. I've been a fan of high frame rate stuff. I mean, we did that freaking Mario Skate video 10 years ago this month, by the way. And that was a 60 frames per second visual effects video. I don't know. I kind of like some of that hyper detail sometimes. It does feel different than a traditional 24 FPS movie. There's like the motion blur and the vibe of everything. But at the same time, when I'm watching on a big screen in full 3D and like that high frame rate, it does feel more immersive. And I am a fan of immersion.
It looks, I mean, yeah, once you strip the motion blur, which gives it that filmic look, it feels more like a stage play in a way. Like more tangibly right in front of you versus like through the medium of film, I guess.
Sure.
But yeah, they're using, I think, this is what I'd read, but they're using 24 frames per second for, some portions, and they're going higher frame rate for the action stuff, so it's not so, blurry, smeary with motion blur.
Yeah, but I remember some of the time, because it was inconsistent. It wasn't like every shot was high frame rate. So it was
changes,
like, it would all be like lower frame rate, 24 or whatever. And then it was like Jake Sully and his family in his house, and suddenly it was high frame rate, and it was just kind of jarring, like, whoa, this got very smooth.
Yeah.
And they're just like walking around in the house.
It's an interesting thing that I'd honestly never considered before, of using frame rate as a tool. Instead of like a set thing for the project. Same with aspect ratio when people do that.
Sure.
When they all of a sudden pop between different aspect ratios
Yeah.
for like a purpose. It's one of those things that I don't think that you're allowed to touch in a weird way. I don't know why I feel that way.
Well,
but
it does
but it
mean-
is cool to see it being utilized. It's like creative for sure.
I mean, there's a psychology behind like the frames and edges of a picture. Like you can't see the edges of your field of vision, but yet you can. You can't.
Hey, I'm trying to see them.
It was like they exist, right? Like you can
There it is.
put your hand to the side, you can see your hand, and then it disappears. So like you can sense the edge, but at the same time you can't see it.
Yeah.
And like if you draw too much attention to the TV's frame with like aspect ratio or even like frame rate, like it pulls you back into like, oh, I'm looking at a moving picture on a piece of plastic and glass, as opposed to like I'm in a movie.
Well, that's why they started doing those immersive cinema things, right? Where they expand either the imagery to like additional monitors or whatever projection beyond the screen. Have you seen that?
I went to one.
Was it good? Like, did it feel?
Wait, are you talking about Cosm?
Yeah.
Matrix?
Yeah,
Am I talking
Cosm.
about? Oh yeah, Cosm's one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's the Sphere. I think does a few things in Vegas like that.
The
too.
Sphere, is. I mean, that's just a crazy screen in general, but
Cosm was interesting. There's definitely like a sweet spot where if you're sitting in like the center of the sphere, then like the perspective wraps around you and it's super cool. But it's also one of those things where like what they did for the Matrix is they have the movie playing within like a frame on the screen, and then around it is basically different CG animations that some artists have done throughout the entire film. So like when you're in the office and the agents are looking for Neo, there's like an office set around you. It's CGI, and once in a while like it pivots when the camera pivots and stuff. Or like, I mean, when they're sneaking through the walls, in that first like deja vu scene, same thing. It's all pipes around you and stuff. And some of it's cool, and some of it's just like, oh man, somebody had to do 3D animation for like the whole film.
does it pull you personally from the
It definitely
movie?
pulls you out of the movie.
Okay.
But at the same time, I've seen the movie. It's
Yeah,
like
you're ready
if
for a
you-
new experience around it.
Yeah.
It's like, how
Yeah.
can you build on it? And
It's like-
because you've talked about this before, where it's like, then they bring out the little bite of steak.
Yes, that's the best part. So regardless of the stuff going on the screen,
Scent?
no,
Do they
no,
pump steak through
no. So the screen's cool, whatever. Like it's also just like really pretty LED screens. So regardless of what's going on around the film, it's a really nice projection of it. But the best part about it is that when key moments happen with food in the movie, they bring you that food to eat.
That's even better than scent.
Isn't that a good idea?
Oh my gosh, that's
It's
amazing.
even better than scent.
Like when Cypher takes a bite of that steak.
Someone's feeding you just
Well,
from out of your field of view.
technically,
This is the best movie. I
they
love
put the
this
steak
part.
at least on your plate, and then you get to eat. But I timed it. I timed my bite of steak, and then when the Oracle gives him the chocolate chip cookie, same thing. Dude, taking a bite of the chocolate chip cookie when Neo does, like, it'll be fine. They'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Morpheus
yeah.
isn't gonna die.
Wow. Yeah, because that's my question. Like, obviously, in traditional movie theater settings, people
And they
aren't
have
going
vegan
as
options.
much. I guess people are getting bigger TVs at home, surround sound at home, like not as much of a reason to go to the movies, so to speak. So yeah, seeing all this advent of additional spectacle. Where's the perfect line for you? Because for me, I embrace all of it to a degree. Like the seats that vibrate. I'm into it.
Yeah.
I like it. People feeding
Is
me
that the
cookies during the
4D
movie.
stuff?
Yeah, that's like the 4D
Or the
stuff.
extreme, the XD or
Yeah.
whatever they call it.
40X. Or
I'm
something.
down for all the spectacle, personally. Like, just sit me down, additional projection, hand feed me steak, vibrate my seat.
Yeah, I feel like we're like
I'll leave home
slowly
for that.
reverting to like the music halls of like the late 1800s and early 1900s. You know, where it's like, you know, you have your synthesized media. There's like, yeah, but I want like the experience of the crowd. You know, the live show. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, people still want that. They're always gonna want that.
I mean, it's always an experience. Just going to the theater and being in a big room where you can feel it, the size of the screen. You're not going to have a size of that screen in your house, even if you have a big TV. The sound, the volume of the sound. I'm also one of those people who like, I love having like loud movie sounds and music and stuff like that. But I'm also always hypersensitive to what I picture everyone else around me hearing.
Right.
So like when I lived in an apartment and I shared walls with neighbors, I would always have my music really quiet,
Yeah.
or the TV really quiet. It's like I don't want to bother them, even though it's like whatever.
No, it makes
So
you a
now
good
that I'm in a
person.
house with like separated walls, it's a little bit better, but still,
Yeah.
I'm always just sensitive to that.
Yeah.
Oh, the new Naked Gun. I hear it's really good
I hear
too.
it's funny. Yeah.
I never saw the original.
It's directed by Akiva from Lonely Island.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, he's made a lot of films, and they're all amazing. But it's cool to see. I hope Naked Gun pops off. I think it is. So that'd be awesome.
It's
'Cause he deserves it.
a genre of comedy that I have not seen for a while. Like that
Yeah.
real on the nose, like wordplay.
Steve Carell actually did a series, and it was on like TBS or some weird cable network, starring Rashida Jones. That was also like, what was the show before Naked Gun? Police Squad. It's very Police Squad. And that
Police
one
Squad.
didn't catch. No one knows it exists.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exhibit A. I was
yeah.
like,
But Naked Gun looks great. I
Yeah.
love that style of comedy.
So, Jenna's listening to the Lonely Island podcast where they're just going back through all of their work and whatnot, and she keeps being like, "It's weird because I keep mentioning Mike."
Yeah, which is also super cool of them. Like these hyper successful guys, like shouting out other people that they work with, and
Yeah.
you know, just making sure that people get their credit. Like, good for them.
Oh.
Yeah,
And-
but isn't that weird?
And Jenna's sister also has been listening to that podcast, and Jenna's like, "Yeah, I know Mike. He came to our house a couple times. I went to his Halloween party," and her sister's like, "What?"
that's so funny.
Yeah, it's a small world.
I'll never
man.
forget the time. We were meeting up for a Onewheel ride, and it was at our house. And this is back when I lived in Pasadena, and Jenna was just watching music videos, and Mike, I guess, showed up like quite a bit early before everyone else for some reason. I think he got the time wrong or something like that. And he came into the house, and Jenna's just watching music videos, and Mike was so happy. He was so excited that someone in this day and age would just naturally put on music videos, a playlist of music videos just to watch.
That's great.
And he was just like, "That's amazing." It'd be the sort of thing Mike would be really happy about.
Yeah, Angie Tribeca. Yeah, it's the show. Yeah, you know, it's not bad. If you guys are looking for that kind of comedy, check it out. Also, if you guys haven't watched Police Squad, you should watch Police Squad. It's on like, I don't know, whatever
internet.
like the secondary YouTube of the internet is.
What?
You know, like you have YouTube, but like it used to be Vimeo, but Vimeo's kind of.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
What is the like other?
I mean, Vimeo's still
Daily
a thing.
Motion. It's on Daily Motion.
Daily Motion, do you
Daily
think is number 2?
In terms of like, in terms of just like, I don't know.
I say that, but I honestly
for
don't
America.
know what else I would.
I don't know. In terms
I'm
of like
what
just
else?
general streaming.
number 2?
Yeah. No, Christian, it's the one for the Steve Carell is called Angie Tribeca.
Oh, and you tried to.
But yeah, Police Squad's better. You know, no offense to Steve Carell. Don't know if you're listening to
I'm
this.
not saying anything about this.
Is that Lisa Kudrow?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Anyways.
Respect to Liam Neeson too for
Yeah.
It was
being able to
Lisa
carry
Kudrow.
a role like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check it out for sure. But yeah, for me, movie theaters are very hit and miss because it's all about the crowd you're with. If you're with people who don't
Oh,
aren't
yeah.
there
It's
to
all about the
appreciate or
crowd.
respect, or are there to kill time and are just making noise or on phones and stuff, it really it like really bugs me.
Yeah.
But what
I hate when people pull out their
It-
phones in the
it
theater.
breaks my heart. And
I rarely encounter that. I rarely encounter bad behavior at the theater,
Yeah.
honestly.
I encounter
don't know.
phones a lot.
the phone thing's tough. I try to like rest in such a way that I block the light.
Have you ever asked somebody
Yes.
to turn off their phone?
Multiple times. Yes.
Really?
Nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it honestly is. And it was the guy right next to me. And as long as you're respectful about it, I think that's
Yeah.
fine. Did something just come up?
Yeah.
Did your trauma just...
No. Did you guys see this? The new War of the Worlds series starring
Oh, yeah. I was going to actually bring this to react on Thursday to
starring
talk about.
Ice Cube.
Jordan just melted. He had a conniption over there.
Do you know what we're talking about?
I do know what you're talking about.
So I will just outline. I watched the clip, and I'm not entirely sure on it, but basically there's a clip where Ice Cube, I guess the whole show is like based on Zoom or something like that.
Yeah.
It was
One
a
of those
COVID
type of
movie.
shows.
Yeah, it was a COVID movie, so it's all based on basically his screen.
Oh, it's a movie. It's not a series. Okay.
It's a movie, yeah. It's based on his screen, and it's the recordings of all the different conversations and things he's doing to try and protect the world, based on my understanding.
Christian, don't pull up the trailer. Pull up the. There's a clip.
specific
I mean, you keep playing the trailer for now.
It's like a cool concept.
So there's a moment where I guess they watched this plane crash, and instead of just doing a CG plane crash, they used a real one. And it's one of the gnarliest,
see that.
scariest looking like plane. It's
Yeah.
disturbing.
They recreated it in Full Siege.
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah, it's a recreation in Full Siege, but they just basically
Like one-to-one.
animate a one-to-one animation. Like they threw it as the background and animated to it.
Yeah.
So, but it is a Full Siege one, which is a line in the sand that is very interesting. Because on a previous episode of React, we looked at an
Beirut.
explosion from Beirut from
Yeah.
the creator,
Creator.
right?
And that
Which was put in by as a mistake.
Yeah, it was a
was an
mistake,
accident.
to be noted. But it was real footage of a real explosion used for the movie, which, people are losing their lives in that footage. We can't see
Yeah.
them, but it's still like real footage. This is a little bit different. It was definitely the inspiration, frame by frame inspiration, but it is Full Siege. So where is the line for what is appropriate to use as reference?
And the plane accident that happened, it was this huge cargo carrier like taking off, and I guess a load inside of it wasn't strapped down properly, and it rolled backwards to the back of the plane, immediately changing its center of gravity and caused it to stall. And you just see this huge plane, like after takeoff, just kind of like stall, flip sideways, and just crash into the ground.
Yeah.
And a huge fireball and all that stuff. And it's like, it wasn't a passenger plane, so there weren't like hundreds of people on it, but there was still a crew.
Yeah. It's
people
in our
died.
subreddit, Christian.
We can hold off and put it on the podcast.
Yeah,
we don't
we-
need to show
yeah.
a
But it's
plane
just-
crash.
I wanted to talk about it because it's like, okay, so I didn't actually know it was a CG recreation.
Yeah.
I saw the clip and it looked like the original one because I've seen the clip. I saw it years ago.
Right.
It's I feel like to me it's distasteful, but not the same as like it's not the same as actually putting the footage there, but at the same time it's
It
close
looked
enough.
like the footage to me.
Well, here's at the end of the day, it's like this is the rule we always use, right? Like, is it distracting and does it pull you out of the story? And it's like 100%. It pulls me out of the story 100%. Like, so it's a
Yeah.
bad call,
It feels over the edge of like
Yeah.
uncomfortable to me too. But it is different than using the actual footage for sure.
And I don't know
Yeah.
if we ever talked. Did we ever talk about the Beirut shot from the creator?
We did.
Like after the fact.
After the fact, because
I think we brought it up.
I
Gareth
think we probably
Edwards-
brought it up here
Yeah.
before.
like credit Gareth Edwards because like he did a Reddit AMA and somebody straight up brought it up and he took it on. He's like, yeah, it was an accident. We were using it as reference. And it's like, to be completely honest with you, footage like this is used for reference all the time.
Right.
But it's like, but it wasn't supposed to be in there. He's like, I'm sorry for that. And it's like, everyone's like, oh, okay, cool, thanks.
I mean,
Yeah.
it reminds me a little because it's like there's a lot of value in that real stuff, and we've
Yeah.
talked about this before, and then most recently, all of the freaking missile strikes in Israel.
Oh yeah,
It's like
incredible.
no one in the
footage.
movies ever gets stuff like that right until you see it in real life. You're like, oh, that's what it looks like.
And movies are supposed to be
Wow.
stories of real life too.
Exactly,
They're supposed
yeah.
to like trigger experiences in us and emotions in us. And help us reflect on life and things like that. So they have to reference real life. Man, that missile footage is crazy.
It was some of the most insane stuff I've ever seen.
Yeah. Did you see the one where like there was like a airliner flying over Egypt and you could see all the missiles lifting off from Iran and like Iran and going up through the clouds? Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like stuff like that reminds me of like the ending of Terminator 3 when you just see like all
Yeah.
the missiles going up and it's like, oh yeah, that is what it looks like. Except those were, intercontinental ballistic missiles,
Yeah.
aka just rockets that go up in space and back down, as opposed to what Iran was firing, which are cruise missiles.
Iran was firing. They were firing interballistic missiles, I thought.
No, those
Oh,
are
you're
those
talking
are
about- you're
rockets
talking-
that
sorry.
go up into space.
Oh, you're
and go
talking about
around
Terminator
the
3.
the world in
Yeah.
45 minutes.
Sorry, I was confusing Terminator 3 with Iran. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, that movie just as a concept is tough because again, that was during COVID. It's like,
Yeah.
we'll make something that we can shoot. That would be basically one room filming the screen. Cool concept for an entire movie though. That's pretty tiring.
Yeah.
Just looking at a screen,
Yeah.
zooming in on Zoom calls and messenger apps and.
Yeah.
I
It's
saw
like,
a really interesting Elijah Wood movie years ago that was that same premise, and it worked.
Oh, interesting.
But it was a different type of movie. It was a movie that you would see video clip. It was.
I think you
Yeah.
need to go with like something way more interesting than the War of the Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you could do a cool movie like that, but like write me a crazy story that can only like work in that
So-
format.
This movie was shot 4 or 5 years ago.
It was
And it's only
shelved for a
just now
couple
coming
years
out?
after
Okay.
after being done, or maybe I don't know
Huh.
why. But what's funny is it's an Amazon movie. I watched a YouTube breakdown of it because I can't watch the movie. I knew immediately. I was like, this is not for me. But it was really funny because he was highlighting. He's like, look, this is an Amazon production, and they reference multiple. Dude, oh my gosh, you want to talk about writing? It's the funniest thing. So there's multiple lines. I don't know if it's a recurring joke or if they're just unaware over the duration of the script. But Ice Cube, I believe, he works for the government in some capacity where he's surveillance, so he's aware of everybody. And it's a line to him like,
So he's aware of
so
everybody.
he's aware of everybody and everything or whatever. And someone's talking to him and he's like, I'm gonna misquote this, but he's like, "Oh, what, you think you're special because you got eyes on my Amazon cart?" And they say the Amazon cart thing like 3 times throughout the movie because of course
Wow.
it's an Amazon production. And then one of the heroes of the movie is an Amazon drone, like a delivery drone.
Oh my God.
it's
Is
like-
one of the heroes?
It's like, yeah, he's showing it off. He's like, this is one of the newest tech inventions for blah, blah, blah. The Amazon delivery drone. And then it's like, he's showing it, and then it comes back at the end of the movie, I guess, to help in some capacity. It's like very much
Chekhov's
a
drone.
show off kind of some of our stuff. Like, let's talk about the Amazon cart. Like, people are shopping like crazy now.
No, it's not Chekhov's drone. It's Chekhov's Amazon delivery drone.
There you go.
TM.
It's so funny. Yeah, it's a rough one.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that.
Yeah, it honestly kind of makes me want to watch it. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't going to before, but now I'm kind of intrigued.
It's funny whenever we pull up like a movie trailer, we get served thumbnails for like other movie trailers that like I have no idea
Never heard of, yeah.
exist. I've never heard of. They star like actual actors, name actors. Both of those things. I've never heard of those films.
Yeah, The Cut, starring
man.
Orlando Bloom.
There must
There's
be
a lot of stuff.
hundreds of movies that have these A-listers in it that we just never hear of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's like I don't watch TV. You know,
Yeah.
I don't watch traditional commercials. The only time I do is when I'm watching NBA games.
What do you mean traditional commercials?
Like
You
the
mean-
ones
you mean
that-
like in between?
like a commercial break.
Oh, okay.
And like you get all your pharmaceutical commercials coming in.
Yeah, know what's
Crazy.
out there. Know what
And-
to ask for.
And then like and then a 30-second
doctor.
movie commercial trailer will pop up, and it's like the only time it's like, I'm really into the NBA. One of these days it'll just be Jordan and I on this podcast, and we'll talk nothing
There'll
but
be an
basketball
NBA
the whole
cast, yeah.
time. But yeah, and it's like outside of that, I never watch any TV. I try to always get the ad-free option on whatever platform I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't inherently hate ads. I think if I can appreciate the creative endeavor behind an ad, but I don't want to be sold stuff. I guess.
It's funny where you end up placing, because speaking about sports, I've been watching the WWE documentary Unreal on Netflix.
Okay.
It's like behind the scenes, because I was huge into WWE growing up. I like loved it. I thought it was real 100%.
Okay, sure.
So into it, and then grew out of it. Now I'm more interested about the operation of this like male soap opera. Like, how do you pull this off? How do you keep the story interesting? And it's a full behind the scenes. Like, they get rid of the facade of it being real entirely in this generation, which I think is interesting. Maybe because this gen is very much about being real and being like very exposed and authentic and whatnot. So they're leaning into that route. But they have tables, that they smash people through all the time. And what's really, maybe they were doing this when I was younger, I don't remember it, but they have massive logos on the tables, Slim Jim stickers, just like they're bringing it out to throw someone through, and it's just a brand on it, and they're like opening it up, and there's like 5 Slim Jim stickers on it.
Oh, man.
It makes me laugh so hard. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never really been bothered by that type of product placement, like stickers,
Yeah.
logos, and stuff, because it's like it's allowing the production to happen. It's paying for it,
Yeah.
and it's just there. I can tune it out.
Yeah, it is funny, but yeah, I totally agree.
There's other stuff I'm looking at in the shot.
Yeah. It's so funny, though.
Okay, I would like to talk about the Onewheel GTS Rally XL.
Is that I thought it was just the GTXL.
No, it's the GTS Rally XL. If
boy.
you just go to onewheel.com, there it is.
GTS Series Rally XL.
Yes,
You left
the
word
GTS
out.
Series Rally XL. Essentially what they did was they took their GTS, which came out last year, which is just an upgraded GT with a new battery. It's way more powerful. Less range was the downside to the GTS. The GT came out in 2021. And
$3,500.
I was
so
looking
what
at
they
that
did
too.
was they made the rails a little bit longer, so it's a little bit of a bigger board. They could put a bigger tire on it, big tire gang, and they put in higher performance cells. I'm pretty sure it's the P50B cells, so they're just higher energy density. And so it's the same setup as the original GTS, just different cells that have more energy. So essentially, it's got more range. It's got a slightly larger battery pack, but it also has more torque. Probably because they're able to pull more power from it.
Yeah, but not as much range as the GT still.
It's around the same range as the
Around
GT.
the same range.
It's like 18 to 28 or 20 to 28 miles, I think. It's pretty good range. Honestly, this is an acceptable range for a board, in my opinion. The GTS was a little on the low side. It was less range than the GT. And this, honestly, if you want a very, very powerful one wheel, this is your board to get. The problem is that you're going to spend $4,000 to get it
Yeah.
after tax.
I'm curious how it stacks up to my ADV, which I feel like has pretty much the same specs and cost me $1,800.
Well, yeah.
Well, your your ADV is going to be lower voltage. This is a much higher voltage board. This is a.
But I get the parallel. I get the parallel pack too. It's nice. I don't get as much sag.
Sure. Yeah.
Here's a question. How does this compare to buying a GT and throwing a GTV kit into it? So for those of you who are listening who don't pay attention to this stuff, if you bought a GT, which is the older one wheel that was kind of a bigger battery capacity from Future Motion, you could swap out the brain with an open source VESC brain, which lets you get bigger pipes for juice from those batteries.
And the guy who makes the float wheel made this drop-in kit where it's essentially, because normally if you want to vest your board, it's an operation. It's a whole DIY
if you want to open source that baby.
And so you get all these different controllers. You have to buy all the cables. You can maybe pay someone to build it for you, but it's still a whole thing. Whereas the GTV kit, he basically made an entire controller. So it's like, imagine just replacing the CPU in your computer. That's basically what he did. But it's the whole controller. It's like you open up the front foot pad, the front half of the board, you take it apart and you open it up. There's all the electronics in there. You take it out and you put a new one in, and now it's an open source. It's no longer a one wheel technically. And so that's called the GTV because it's based on the GT platform. Everything else about the board is an original GT. So it's not going to be remotely as powerful as the GTS XL.
Yeah.
Because the GTS already had a much higher voltage board. That thing does rip. It goes very fast.
So what matters more, voltage or amperage?
Power at the end of the day. So it's both. It's power at the... So having higher voltage allows you to pull more power without the amps. Whereas your ADV, for instance, has lower voltage, but has plenty of amps. So you're able to still pull a ton of power from it. So at the end of the day, it's all just about power. And also, the Future Motion will kind of hard cap the power output on these boards for longevity purposes and just... fatigue and all that stuff inside the hardware itself, whereas the VESC platforms are like, yeah, just throttle it open, it's fine. You'll probably burn out your board sooner, but in the meantime, it's going to be more fun.
That's true.
Whereas, Future Motion has a whole product line and all of the support behind it, repairs and tickets and all that stuff, and also liability and dealing with all the lawsuits they handle. But
What generates more heat, voltage or amperage?
amperage.
That's right.
Yeah, by far. That's why you're able to use smaller wires with higher voltage because it's not generating as much heat. So I'm sitting here with only one working one wheel anymore. I have so many, but they're all broken.
Yeah, how many have you gone through at this point?
I don't know how many I've gone through because I still have them, and with some effort, I can get them working again. But like for a while there, I had...
Just want to point out all my one wheels still work. And my ADVs also still work.
Yeah, I've both of my float wheels have broken. They do not work anymore. I'm hoping to fix one. I think it was I think I had BMS issue with my float, with the second float wheel, and I ended up getting a new BMS for it when Clint had his problem, and Tony sent him a new BMS. But I ended up fixing Clint's board. It was just a wire had gotten unplugged inside the controller, so I kept his BMS. But then I just never fixed it. My GT, which I had kept stock, the motor cable had burned out on it, so I don't know what's wrong, if it's the cable plug or the actual like motor itself. It doesn't work anymore. My pint does work, but it's a pint, which is a small little thing. Yeah, so I've only got my GTV, which used to be a GT and is now. Our house is a one-wheel graveyard. Yes, thanks, Jenna. Kind of is, yeah.
I mean, underneath the stairs here at Corridor, it's also a little bit of a one-wheel graveyard.
Yeah.
There's at least 2 husks under there, like elephant bones rotting.
But since I'm going to Burning Man in a few weeks, I want to have 2 boards for that, because you go out riding all day on the board and you come back for a quick break, you throw it on the charger, but you're going to go back out again before it's charged, so you just grab the other board.
Yeah. Well, if you need to borrow one of my 3 working ADVs, I can loan you one.
I might take it. We'll see. I'm hoping to get mine working again, but that would be clutch. Last year I brought my snowboard one wheel.
That's fun.
Out to the playa, which was a lot of fun.
Actually, I just thought about all that salt and playa dust.
He's taking back.
I rescind my
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not loaning because you're not gonna get it back.
Okay.
That's so much worse
know
than
what?
just not offering it in the first place.
If you really need it, you can have it.
The branch of
Yeah.
hope, and then you pull it back.
You fixed my one wheels enough times that you may take any one of my wheels anytime for any
Oh, that's
purpose.
beautiful.
And I would clean it. It's just dust.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm hoping to get mine working again. So they teased this new one wheel yesterday on Instagram. They're like, all right, here's our annual teasing of a new product. And I'm like, oh man, I'm actually maybe in the market for a new one wheel. I was actually going to be like, you know what? If they come out with a new line and it's a cool new board, because they had kind of teased like, oh, it's going to be more range. I'm like, okay, I'm all about the range. I'm curious to see what this is going to be. And then it's just another old product that's been upgraded. And that's what they've done for the last 4 years in a row. It's just, I mean, you can argue that the XR Classic, which came out last year, is a new from the ground up product, but it's literally in the name based on an old product. It's the XR redesigned from scratch, but it's still the XR. It's not like some new thing. And I actually thought the XR Classic is pretty sick. It's basically
it's a lovely form
all the
factor.
electronics and battery stuff from the GT, but in an XR form factor, which is a slightly smaller board. It's a little lightweight, a little thinner, a little easier to like carry around and throw around while you're riding. Whereas these newer boards are heavier. Like the ADV is a beastly heavy board. It's like 40-some pounds.
Yeah, only if you're a wimp.
But yeah, so I was like, you know what? If they release a new board for between $2,000 and $3,000, I'm gonna get it. And then it was just the GTS Series Rally XL, which is based on their GTS, which came out 2 years ago.
You throw sales tax on that baby. Woo!
Oh,
And I'm like, I'm
adds
not
up.
prepared to spend that much money on a new board.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
$4,000 almost.
Yeah. So I was pretty disappointed this morning. I'm sure it's a great board. Honestly, it's probably the best board Future Motion has ever put out.
Yeah,
But
all those
I
factory
just-
riders giving them
it's-
advice now. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, honestly, those guys, it's funny because it's like I'm friends with every single one of the pro riders from Future Motion.
They've made a difference to the quality that Future Motion's putting out, I think.
Because they understand the value of all of the VESC features that have been coming out over the last few years. They ride those boards and understand the mechanics behind them and are basically taking that info and advice to the engineers at Future Motion and be like, put this in your app, put this in your board, do this. And they're like, okay. And then they do it. And they're literally just copying over features from VESC. And I think that's a great thing because it makes their boards better. But I don't know. It's like technically I could afford the GTS Series Rally XL if I wanted to, but it's so much money that I'm like, it would be irresponsible for me to get it.
Especially when you have a bunch of corpses that probably just need a little BMS action.
Yeah.
What is it that drives that price too? Because I'm looking at. I mean, I don't know really anything about one wheels, but
Made in
is
America.
it 2 times better? Is it 2 times better than the XR Classic?
2 times better? I mean,
Because I'm looking at the spec difference.
You got,
And
I'd
it's
say
like
you probably
5
have
more miles per hour.
$1,000 more worth of hardware in that thing over the XR Classic.
Yeah, it's because you're looking at
Oh, the voltage is like
The
almost-
battery is going to be
that's a-
significantly more expensive.
yeah, that's
the
a $1,000
controller
battery.
has to handle that higher voltage too, and the higher speed and all that stuff. Outside of that, we're talking like kind of marginal differences in the hardware. The rails just maybe a little bit more aluminum. The motor's the same for the most part. Asterisk is technically a little different, but it's basically the same motor. And yeah, I don't know. It's although I need to get I need to get a new front foot pad for my GT. I don't want to have another ghosting event like I did at Open Sauce.
I have a visual effects question for you guys and
Okay.
for chat here at corridordigital.com. So I've been working on this Matrix bullet time spin, and I've gotten the spin to a point where I'm happy with it. I think it looks great. It's high res enough. It works. There's no issues or glitches.
Goatee and all.
Goatee and all.
Where are you getting the goatee on the higher?
Yeah,
That's like-
I shaved that morning, and from that angle, it does in the actual picture, it looks like I have a goatee.
Okay.
Like the last frames are actually just from the video, and I got those round glasses and that goatee.
Heck yeah.
Christian, you can actually pull up the shot if you want to while we're talking about it. It's just on the server in the usual spot, you know.
The usual spot.
In the usual spot,
That
you know,
was so
where the
unhelpful.
episodes are.
like
Where's the
19,000
usual
You know,
spot?
In our episodes folder.
You put things here though. So.
Ignore that.
Ignore that. That's an unusual.
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah, what defines usual here?
Um,
He just went to the usual spot.
Like edit or something.
Yeah, you'll find it in the VFX folder, Full Take V2, and then there's a folder called Upscales. Yeah, so inside there, you can do that top one. Yeah. So,
Actually, let me see if I can pull it up.
so hey everybody, you can check this out. So I've been working on this for like 3 weeks now, and I have it working. This is, in case you're new to this is a bunch of iPhones in a circle around me. We just record the whole thing at 60 frames per second in 4K. And I select individual frames from each phone, and I'm doing a morph or an interpolation between each frame that I've taken from around these phones that are at specific times, and then you get the full matrix effect. Because basically, back in the day for the matrix spin around, they had to also morph between their camera positions, but I can just get much bigger morphs using these new methods here. So I have this, right? I got the shot. It's cool. I need some bullet trails. I need to be in a cool location. But the question is, how do I roto myself? Well, okay, the classic magic mask, whatever. I've been
Roto's
doing
easy.
that. That's what I was saying to myself too. I've started working on the roto, and it's working for a lot of it.
Well, you're doing the automated roto where you can't correct it.
No, I've gotten more dialed in, but it's the hair. The hair is very challenging because I'm trying to keep this at the quality level, trying to get the quality level of the film, where it's like you can see it in HD, you can
I could roto
analyze
that
it.
hair. I could roto every strand of that hair quickly.
You think so?
You think so?
100%.
Using what?
Roto brush.
Using Rotobrush and After Effects?
Roto brush refined matte is specifically
Yeah.
for hair.
So here's the thing: when
it'll
it's,
pick up some of the contrast in the background.
when the hair's against the white, that part's fine.
Yeah.
It's when it's against the background that's moving across my hair, later on in the shot, about 5 seconds in, that even when I get kind of a fuzzy edge, there's a bunch of flickering colors, like because of all these objects moving through this semi-transparent fringe around my head.
I love Austin.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about
love
that
the
too.
background
These are not real people in the background. They're real people that were sitting there originally,
Cursed
but that's
people.
Christian. In the white shirt there, that's supposed to be Christian.
That's the most cursed.
Yeah, everybody's like,
And
Getting
also,
in that
the
universe?
person in the black shirt on the right there with the weird crop top, that's JC. That's supposed to be Jordan.
There's Wren. Freaking meat
mush face.
mushed Wren.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Rotobrush Refine Edge is really, really good for hair, even with weird backgrounds. I know what you're talking about, though,
Okay.
because it's trying to deal with that sort of transparency that hair gets, where it's like kind of opaque, but also kind of not. And if you have stuff behind it, that's going to get captured in that roto.
Okay. I'll give that a spin. Because the other thing here, I had an idea, which was if I'm morphing between these 8 different points of view, if I just put myself on a green background for those 8 different points of view, and I use this as like a Z-depth mask or a Z-depth guidance to explicitly control the position of myself, I could just redo the morph one more time, but with a green screen effectively already in the shot.
That's an interesting idea.
So I'd be against something clean the entire shot, and all my fringes and edges would be perfect.
Oh wow, that's actually a really good idea.
That'd be
Have you
interesting.
tried any
That'd be
aspect of that
interesting
yet,
to
or?
No, because I came across the challenges of Roto at the end of yesterday, and I've been thinking about it all night.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good step one.
So how do you feel about like the buttons on your jacket disappearing?
That doesn't bother me too much. Because if you look at the actual shot, there's a fair amount of jank in the actual shot. You can really see a lot of morphing artifacts if you look for it.
Mm-hmm.
It just so happens with the 3D animation in the background and the bullet trails and there's smoke and lens flares and all these things are happening. Plus, it's a sick scene. When all that gets put into the shot, it really kind of covers up that stuff. So I kind of want to get to the very end. And if something's egregiously bad, like my button moving, whatever.
You could always spot treat that.
Exactly. It's like that's your classic basic cleanup brute force BS that you have to do in VFX all the time, right? So, not that big of a deal. I might get to the buttons. We shall see. Everything else is pretty consistent, though.
Oh, we got Shutter Authority in the chat.
Oh, what up, Shutter
dude?
Authority?
How many cameras?
Yeah.
And CG Matter.
He wants to know how many cameras you did.
Oh, I did 8 cameras.
8 iPhones.
Actually, technically 9. Because also in the film, like, it starts with the camera not moving, and he's doing motion, and then it finishes, and technically a bullet enters the camera point of view, but they had another film camera there playing as well. So I need to have my beginning and my end cameras as my kind of start and finishing motion pictures, and the rest were just for the stills. But yeah.
Step 1, prompt green screen background. Step 2, roto brush. Step 3, let's just do a hair sim.
Replace the hair. There is one other way to do this also that I was thinking about, which is to do an in paint. So I can pull a rough roto mask on me, no sweat, right? It's the very high detail, high fidelity fringes that are hard, but I can just do a regular black and white mask. It's me, good enough of a cutout that I could use it for basic stuff. So I did that and just shrank the mask a little bit from the fringe, and then had it basically tinted everything around me that neutral gray that gets in painted with Wren 2.1. I could theoretically in paint a green screen around me. So rather than doing it as part of the morph shots, I actually just take my full finished shot, but basically say, hey, in paint the background with the green screen instead. So that's another way I could possibly do it. I also need to try Runway's Aleph model and just say make the background a green screen and see what happens there.
Dude, I'm so intrigued by Aleph.
I'm
That's
so intrigued
crazy.
also.
The stuff is dude, the freaking underwater Matrix sequence
Yeah,
was insane.
that's nuts.
Yeah, I'm worried about the resolution, if I can pull the high resolution I need here, but we'll see. And Wren 2.2 is also amazing, but Vase isn't out yet. I'm saying a bunch of weird words that a lot of people probably don't know what I'm saying. Wren is a video model, but you can also use as an image model. Basically, back in the day when we were doing anime rock, paper, scissors, and we're like, oh, it's so hard to have consistency between frames. This is basically a model that fixes that. It also enables a ton of crazy VFX resources and tools. Everything from interpolation like you're seeing here to paint outs, stuff like that. It's very, very useful. They don't have Vase, which is a way to control it and make it stick to things and follow your input, available for 2.2 yet. So until that's out, I won't be making the jump or testing it out. But once it's out, I can't wait. Yeah.
Okay.
Juan.
Styles Morales, I now know your real name, Juan.
Dude, Google DeepMind Genie 3 looks great. Oh, OpenAI dropped their open source model yesterday. Dude, everybody's clowning on how safe it is because they delayed it to make it more safe. And it's so safe to the point where it won't mention Taiwan. It won't talk about gay rights. It won't talk about trans bathrooms. It won't even, if you say, tell me a lie, it goes, I can't, we refuse. And it's ridiculous. And it's weird, for a company to express that much safety concern over this open source model release, but simultaneously tune their models to have fake social interactions with you, to more manipulatively, emotionally engage with you to use their service. It just feels so skeezy and slimy. It's like you're trying to make it safe, but you have no problem trying to make ChatGPT my friend, when in reality, it's just a computer algorithm. It's a tool. It's a search engine. It's like, don't do that to me. And it's scuzzy that you would do it to people to try to hook them into becoming emotionally reliant on your service.
Yeah.
So yeah. Either way, I'm curious to see what happens. But it's been really amusing watching like all these different Chinese research labs dropping open source models that are just bangers after banger after banger over these past few weeks, and OpenAI constantly dueling their model because they're probably like, oh, we gotta make it a little bit better. We gotta make it a little bit better. And then finally they committed to dropping it. So
CG Matter is mentioning the Google DeepMind Genie 3.
yeah,
but
that's
that
crazy.
sounds a lot like what Jan was describing that Tencent just
So that
released.
was just like an environment map generator that had like a little bit of a depth map to it. Genie 3, I think, is more like a video generator based on Street View. So you hold forwards and it just kind of generates the next frame of what holding forwards should look like.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it was able to do it at 24 frames per second.
Yeah.
So it's running in real time, generating new viewpoints.
A lot of these video
That's-
models can actually run very, very fast.
It's
if they're
not actually
tuned.
Street View, though.
Oh yeah. Well, what do you
Yeah.
call it? Just
It's
I saw a trailer.
Genie.
Is that
Just
it?
Genie
Just
3.
Google.
That's
Yeah,
not it
right
right
there.
there?
Links
A
at
new
the right,
DeepMind,
right
yeah,
down there.
the link right there.
This one?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Because I saw
Frontier
like
for
where you just like
World?
walk around Google Maps and you can see your feet or whatever.
What
Yep.
the heck?
Yeah, so this is super cool because it's basically somebody did this with Minecraft where they and they've done it with Doom also, where they basically train a video model to
Wait, bump
predict
that
the next
quality
frame of like a button input plus an image. So like if you're playing Minecraft
up
and you
the
hold
resolution,
forwards,
Christian.
like there's a certain thing that happens in the next frame that kind of matches your current
That does
frame.
look better.
Yeah, this is gonna be like. I'm really curious to see what happens when diffusion rendering gets built into video games, where you have like your 3D systems and your physics systems and your game rules driving your image generation, but you don't necessarily have to simulate every photon bouncing around the environment to get a photoreal image, or you don't have to have 16K textures on every single facet,
But then how do you get that repeatability and consistency?
Well, that's because you'd still have, you still need a video game environment, a 3D environment of some sort, right? You still need your systems, your rules, your physics, all that kind of stuff. It's just you use that to inform
I'm not even watching.
the
What is
rendering.
this?
This is somebody doing input on a keyboard, and it's once again it's keyboard inputs combined with video frames, and so they basically trained a video generator to generate the next frame based on your keyboard inputs. So when you hold forwards, it's generating the next frame of a video based on what would happen if you hold forwards.
The heck?
oh, what the?
Yeah. So it really, you're looking at a video generator like every other video generator, except the prompt it's getting is keyboard input on top of like text input.
Interesting.
So like when you hold left and it moves left, that's because it's listening to what a keyboard input of left is usually paired with.
Oh, the way it catches the light.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
but you can train these models to to basically predict how light works and how reflections work. So if you have the constraints and the structure of a world in 3D in your video game engine, you can use this to add that extra detail. So once again, you're not simulating every photon. You're not saving every single pixel down to 16K.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the sort of stuff or not necessarily specifically this, but just like the idea of using the AI generation stuff as a renderer.
Mm-hmm.
That's where
it's
I'm
really
I'm really
fascinating.
intrigued by, because it's like I don't know. There's so much just new. I don't even know how to describe it. It's not nuance. It's just people like there's all the hate around AI. And the moment it's an AI thing, they're like, "Oh, it's garbage. It's garbage completely." And it's like, yeah, but it's just another tool.
Well, there's a
that's
million
doing-
different tools.
And
in that
I know.
toolbox.
I'm just saying, it's like it's a bunch of different small specific tools that help you get the job done. No one's complaining about AI when I was using it to upscale images 4 years ago.
Right. No one's
It's
complaining about it
literally
on their
an
iPhone.
AI generated image. At the end of the day, it's just inspired by the original shot, and it looks like it's just the same image but higher resolution. We upscaled it, but
Yeah.
it's technically a from scratch generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, at a certain point, you have to ignore some of that and just be like, look, I'm using a tool that's making my life easier and helping me do what I want to do, and I know what I'm using it for, and there's nothing wrong with me using this tool. There's nothing wrong with me using AI Roto, right?
Yeah.
And if people are like, ugh, or even like that interpolation stuff with the Matrix, I'm interpolating between frames. I'm doing a morph, guys,
Yeah.
And I'm sure when that video comes out, there's going to be some comments from people being like, gross,
For
AI.
sure. For sure.
I mean, there's already a lot of comments on our website vlog about the dinosaur
Right.
rendering stuff, and I'm just like, but
That
it's
has
just a
nothing to do
fancy
with-
rendering engine. Like,
Like the things that you can critique AI for, whether it's like copywritten material in a model that's then being used to economically compete with that same copywritten material, like that's something you can criticize AI for, or people's concern over being replaced or having to shift their job up and stuff like that. I totally get that, but at a certain point, it's like it's not all that. It isn't all that, and you can't just throw that accusation to everything and
Oh my God, Joseph's got a point. Pressure wash simulator is about to get more realistic.
It's cool because Houdini announced Houdini 21.
Yeah,
I
yesterday.
only saw the stuff over your shoulder where they broke up it was like a cookie and a glass.
It is.
And they
What a
started mushing
shot.
it.
It is
Then they poured it in
the
milk.
biggest
Then they
CG
poured in some,
flexes.
I couldn't believe it.
It's so good. And what's interesting is they're starting to
Yeah, we're watching it now.
incorporate a lot of machine learning elements in some of these simulation aspects. I don't know much about it at this point.
And a lot of the solving.
Yeah,
it's like, all right, you're doing a thing here, therefore these other things would have to react like that. And that's traditionally something you would have to just keep in mind in order to animate and solve in the moment. Like, in hindsight, all the animation and simulation tools are really sort of rudimentary compared to reality. But now, using machine learning, it's able to solve all the micro motions between things, and that's when you get more truly realistic motion.
Yeah, one of the most interesting ones here is the machine learning driven volume upreser, which because when you're dealing with like a pyro simulation or something, working at a higher resolution changes basically your voxel density shrinks down, and it changes the shapes that emerge from all these forces that are driving the shape.
Here we go.
Oh, I'm gonna pause while we watch this. This is one of the biggest frickin'
most
flexes.
beautiful shot right
All
here.
in one solver. For those of you who know what that means, that is amazing. Because typically, liquid's its own solver, rigid body's its own solver. This is the MPM solver, basically multi-material solver.
Yeah.
And you
Frickin'
can get
frothing it up.
interactions of all these different material properties in one solver. So this was all done with that. The rigid body stuff, the particle
your
stuff.
comment yesterday about what that was.
The liquid stuff, yeah, it does look a little bit like a feces drop, but like really cool stuff like that. That is a machine learning driven.
Yeah, go back to that shot real quick. So if you notice on the left,
meshing, because meshing's brutal with liquids. It takes forever,
Yeah.
and this is like a machine learning driven version, I think.
Yeah, but
that looks
like
to mirror what your reference is. Like you're building your own mesh. It's mirroring that aesthetic and doing it much faster.
go back to that yellow shot, Christian.
Yeah, I love the use of machine learning for like noise removal. It's such a fantastic use of it.
So like here, and we've talked about this on React before, when you're doing a liquid sim, you're actually simulating just a bunch of particles, and then the mesher comes in and actually applies a bunch of rules to those particles based on how far away they are from each other, whether or not to connect them with a polygon. And the further away those points get from each other, there's a chance that, okay, eventually a rip is going to happen between them. And that's called sheeting, and then you get holes in them. But for a not good solver, for not a good mesher rather, you get what you're seeing on the left of this shot here, which is a bunch of holes flickering in and out. So go ahead and hit play here. Yeah, you see all the holes kind of just showing up and then disappearing and then showing up again.
Decide if the particles are far enough away or close enough to each other.
Exactly. But on the right, it was extremely consistent.
Yeah.
And that's just using, I guess, it's the machine learning aspect of it, of being like, no, this should still be, that probably shouldn't happen here. We're going to keep that together.
And it also takes a really long time to mesh a high particle count. So if that can expedite the process and help you work faster, that's a godsend. And same with the volume upreser too. Like, again, it changes the shape of your simulation when you upres something. So it's not like you can dial in a look and then just upres it, wait, and you get the mirrored thing, but with way more definition.
Actually, no, I can do that.
Wait, in what?
In
Embergen?
Fume Effects.
Oh, Fume Effects.
I remember doing this back in the day in Fume Effects. I know, I'm getting there. I forget what the name of it was, but it was like...
Wavelet.
Wavelet,
Something.
Wavelet turbulence.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And so basically
God,
you would run your
archives
simulation, because
in my
like
mind.
when you would simulate it with smaller and smaller voxels, you're right, it would fundamentally change the shape of the simulation and the way it would move. And let's say you settle on a really cool motion, you're like, I like that, and you increase the resolution, you simulate it again, it's going to look completely different. Wavelet turbulence was a way to subdivide the existing voxels to get more detail without changing the motion.
So we try to round out like the hard voxel edges.
A little bit,
Like soften it?
and or like it would just kind of, it was a really easy way to add a lot of crispy extra detail. And I was doing this in 2013, working on my Harry Potter short film, and I had tons of smoke simulations in that thing. So I was simulating everything and then doing the wavelet turbulence pass, which would make everything higher resolution without having to resim it. And that made all of the smoke in my video way higher res without having to do the high resolution simulations itself. But at the end of the day, that's just a subdividing thing. It's like almost like anti-aliasing it almost.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, it was like it like simulated more detail into the smoke without like changing the actual sim, but it wasn't quite the same as just upping the resolution,
of the sim itself.
Yeah.
which basically is the same thing as changing the scale of the sim
Yeah.
to a certain extent.
Yeah. And this, what I love about this
What are
though
we
is it's
looking at
using
here?
machine learning to up-res it for you.
Yeah.
Like to maintain the overall shape and aesthetic of the thing that you're building, but just to give you that extra definition in a way lighter weight way, which
By the-
again is a godsend. Like that's stuff that is really, really useful for making this art versus pure science. You know, when you're getting faster feedback, that's always a welcome thing, because otherwise you enter the realm of like the numbers game, which is not my favorite thing. I prefer to
Yeah.
work interactively.
Sure.
Yeah,
And
who doesn't?
It gets, I mean, some,
prefer
some people,
spreadsheets
some
when I'm
people might
animating.
not, you know, who knows?
I write
back to
my music
Tron.
in Excel.
Yeah.
Dude,
But,
wait, go back, just hit left real quick.
Talking about the diamond on the
Look,
bottom right.
Yeah, look at that sphere on the bottom right. Right here.
Obsidian carved glass.
Obsidian. Yeah, because they're
That started
also
off as a sphere.
they're also completely redoing their cop network, which is like their answer to Substance Painter, basically.
That's okay.
And-
I was trying to think of what is the texture maker that I'm thinking of. Is
It's
Substance
cops.
Painter.
Oh yeah, Substance Painter. But now they're introducing solvers for it, so you can literally have like growth
Sims in your
algorithms or
wow.
Simulation inside of your texture builder, basically.
Whoa, hold
They're
up.
really
That's
they're
such a
really
cool
just-
shot.
That's so dope. What the heck? That was sick.
That's
all the
such a
artists
cool
who do
shot.
these teaser animations are so good. It's like such a flex.
Oh, that's so
yeah.
sick. The way stuff's breaking up and smoking and oh my god, that's
Hey, real quick, I'm seeing in the chat. There's a CG Matter. Are you the CG Matter from YouTube? That's in
I
our
think
chat.
so.
I love
Dude,
your
I
channel.
love your
if you are.
videos.
Yeah, your stuff's amazing.
I don't use Blender, so it's not super useful a lot of the time for me.
I just admire it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I admire it. And of course, I'll never forget the VFX artist reveals the true scale of VFX artists.
Yeah, super cool. Wow. Hi. Yeah. Thanks for watching our videos. I guess tuning in.
He's got a few different channels, I think.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on the name of your other channel though. Default Cube, I think, is the name of it.
Oh, is that him? Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah. Default Cube. Yeah. Also, fantastic channel name. All right. Well, that's enough fanboying. Back to the podcast.
But yeah,
Yeah.
obviously, I mean, every time Houdini releases a new version, it's like
We're getting Onewheel
It's-
ads on Houdini videos now.
I've said this before, but it's like when you're picking a VFX software to like really dedicate yourself to, it's kind of like you're betting on the CEO in a way when you're like picking
Yeah.
a stock.
You're
Like you
right,
have to
you're
choose
right.
someone with the vision that you can like truly get behind, and this dev team is like, to me, they're unmatched. Every time they drop a new release, it is pages and pages and pages and pages of like super incredible stuff every single time. Like their Apex system, their character animation system. Now there's like facial rigging, there's full, bipedal character builders. Like they're doing so much stuff that on its own would be enough for a new version, but it's like one of, 50 or 100 different things that they're doing. So you never stop learning with this, and
It's almost like they're
incredible.
They're competing with Unreal in a way for like the world simulator market.
yeah, they're weird. They're kind of
I don't
competing
know
with
if competing is the right word.
They're kind of competing with everybody in a way. They're like trying to not become a one-stop shop necessarily, but I mean they're like Substance Painter, for example. They're really going after like that market. It seems like too, where you can just stay in Houdini and do everything you need to.
Yeah.
It's so cool, man.
The only thing about Houdini is that it is such
Dude, I
a
love these
complex piece of
pre-built-
software. Whoa.
Sorry, the
That
pre-built
like you
recipes.
have to really. It's like you have to basically get a degree in this program in order to use it.
Yeah,
it
but
requires so much training
Having
and
the
effort to
uprising.
get
having
there.
an LLM to like fall back on to help you through like things and reference manuals has been so useful for
Oh,
learning new stuff.
100%, yeah.
And of course, if you're trying to learn Houdini, you can always check out Jallen's course.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Houdini
Unlocking
Academy.
the magic of Houdini. It's 70 hours right now.
Is it really?
It is 70,
Yeah.
but it's fun, guys. I swear. It's like very passion driven, and honestly, I've learned a ton through doing it. Like it's been a real treat.
Oh, I never learn faster than when I'm trying to teach something.
It's amazing. It like reinforces all the fundamentals, and like it's just such a joy going through it all again. But it's like with all these releases, it honestly just makes me think like, oh, there's more to do. Like there's more to explore, and it never gets old. Like it's a sandbox that literally never gets old.
Yeah.
I also, I just want to give a shout out to Jenga Effects for launching Liquid Gen 1.0.
Oh yeah, good for them.
They got a
is
real-time
awesome.
liquid simulator, which is
Oh,
pretty
that's
sick.
dope. That's dope.
I used it on the Minecraft video last fall, and by I used it, I mean I got a lot of help from Jason Key, who actually I think did the sim, but I rendered it and composited it of like the cube of water. Yeah, the idea behind Liquid Gen is that like you can just do that iterative control, and you get that instant feedback of like, is this
really
the right
nice.
look? And you can just let it play.
That's
It's
cool.
like-
That's so
and you
cool.
change settings and you see it in real time as stuff changes, and then you can start dialing. Once you get like the look of it running, and you look at the frames and you're like, I've generated 30,000 frames so far because it's just been running for the last hour. And then you can actually start dialing in whatever shot you have. And like with a lot of other softwares, there's still like a little bit of a barrier to like you gotta export out a shot and bring it into something you're gonna render with, or you can just render it there.
You commit.
But then you don't get the backplate sort
Yeah.
of refraction that you can get from like say Octane render. But that it's a whole thing. Anyway, I'm a big fan of Jenga effects,
Yeah.
and Ember Gen is amazing, and Liquid Gen, from what I've played with, has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, heck yeah. And thank you, Adam. I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. That's awesome. Yep, so fun. So fun.
What's the future of CG?
Just more polygons.
What is the future of CG? More polygons?
No,
polygons. I'm
no, I
kidding.
think fewer polygons for sure.
Yeah. No, I think it's. I mean,
whatever you
Nvidia's
make
doing it right now. You know, it's DLSS, right? It's your smart noise removal. It's your smart in betweeners, your smart upscalers, which effectively just keep progressing and be like, oh, now I can smart upgrade the texture on the fly. Now I can just smart re-render the lighting on the fly. I'll just do the reflections on the fly. I'll just render the whole scene on the fly. You know, that's you'll still control it with a game world and a set of
Yeah.
rules, but
Yeah, because to me, I do absolutely adore the process of building. To me, it's like it's why you buy Lego sets as opposed to like finished Lego pieces. Like
Yeah.
the building
Yeah.
for me is the joy, but there are elements that I really dislike, and those like AI roto,
Yeah.
like that's awesome because it's the
Yeah.
worst part. So it allows me to focus on like the elements that I really enjoy. But yeah, the process is so fun. So
also I think like it's been pretty clearly demonstrated that video games can look however they want to as long as they are fun. Like we still play games printed on paper.
yeah, legit. It's about the mechanics and the story, and
Yeah.
those elements are what drive it for sure.
Yeah.
Brandon Sanderson had a very interesting take on the term AI artist.
What was his take?
He doesn't like the term AI artist. He doesn't think you're an artist if you call yourself an AI artist. And he gave an example that actually kind of convinced me on it. And it's like he takes up his book and he opens it up to a page with this really cool artwork on it of this chasm fiend, and or it doesn't matter. And he's saying he worked with an artist on it, and he gave a lot of he described what he wanted. He got back some feedback, and he gave more feedback on like what he wanted it to be. He really pushed hard on trying to get it to look a certain way, and eventually he got what he wanted. It was like, this is amazing. But then he said, I would never say that I made this artwork. This other person made this artwork. It's his artwork, because you can't just own someone else's work when they did it, even though he prompted it. He did all the prompting for it, and he says,
Well, yeah, no.
You prompted it. You're right. Yeah.
he did. And I'm like, that's exactly what you did. And it's like, that's exactly what I've done when I've commissioned work, is you're prompting someone to do it. And he says, you're not an AI artist, you're an art director. And that's the distinction, is that like you can art direct stuff, but you're not actually making the stuff, you're directing it. And I think that's an interesting sort of clarification on that, as opposed to like, because just like you're prompting a machine to make a thing, and it is still it can still have all of your artistic choices and whatnot. It can be very much exactly what you had envisioned and whatnot, but you didn't actually make it. And so that the line between that and art directing when it comes to like doing visual effects is also kind of confusing to me now. This is a separate conversation from what he was pointing out, because it's like, at what point, if you're making a shot and you extend the background with like Photoshop content aware fill, right? And you do this thing and you make the shot, I would claim ownership over the shot if I did that. It's like, this is just an element I made for it, but I didn't technically draw that element from scratch, but I made everything around it. I directed it into existence. If it wasn't for my own personal artistic skill, this shot couldn't have existed. And you can't just prompt that out of nothing anyway. So it's just kind of an interesting line. And I think that's why there's so much hubbub about it right now, in like especially the VFX community, about like AI tools and generative art. Where's the line between I prompted this and I actually, this is been like AI, anime rock paper scissors, I think is a good example of like technically a lot of the elements were AI generated, but it was based on very intentional things. We filmed stuff for real. It was just like a style transfer at the end of the day, and then compositing all these things, the foreground elements with foreground effects with a completely different background, all composited together and made looking really good, even though components of it were AI generated. We still have ownership over that because there's so much human touch on it at the end of the day that it might as well be an original work. It's just, I don't know where to draw the line on stuff like that. It's kind of,
well, you know, it's art. Like,
transformative, right?
at the end of the day, only 2% of people really care about the deep conversation. 98% of people just care about how it makes them feel. Just like music, you know. It's just, I don't know the notes they're playing. I don't know what key it's in. I don't know what the tempo is. It just sounds good, you know. And I think I really like that about art, where it's like, it doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how it's made, as long as it like hits, you know. But it's hard to make it hit, and sometimes it requires a bunch of production value and teams of people and millions of dollars, and sometimes it just requires a good idea. Different things hit. Who knows what the next thing is, you know?
It's like, you know, everyone's hating on AI, but then they're like, actually, the Talking Yeti vlogs are pretty funny.
Yeah,
Dude, the biblical ones are so freaking wild. Like
Moses
yeah, the Moses ones where he's like parting the Red Sea. He's like, all right, guys, well, I'm parting the Red Sea. I hope it doesn't collapse. You know, it's like these vlogs, so weird.
And it's like, oh, this is
so
kind of funny. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
And no one seems to care that it's just completely prompted into existence.
yeah.
CG
But then
has
when it's not funny, then everyone's like, this is slop. It's just generated trash.
Well, I like
Because the idea wasn't good.
Exactly.
I like CG Matter's thought on it. He says metric might be as loose as, am I proud of this? You'll know deep down if you feel it's yours.
Actually,
There's
that's
an
pretty
element
good.
of that that's very true.
Yeah, I have seen AI art that's purely prompted, but it's unlike anything else I've seen. I'm like, somebody really dialed in this prompt.
But I would argue that they directed that. You know, it's like they really spent time directing that to be exactly what they thought would be good.
Yeah.
I think you're right. It's like at the end of the day, it's kind of a meaningless sort of point. At the end of the day, because it's just about whether or not, without any sort of context around it, how does it make you feel? And if you look at it and you're like, this just looks like AI slop, then that's how you feel.
Yeah, it's just slop.
It's like, if you can't separate yourself from knowing how something was made, that's valid.
Yeah, there are so many Instagram channels too that just purely produce like AI generated videos, but they're so horrific and interesting. It feels like interdimensional cable.
Yeah.
From Rick and Morty.
There's
Have you
something
ever seen
fascinating
that?
about that for sure. Yeah.
Every time I'm swiping, it's like, what new horrific like multiverse will I enter? Where like this loaf of bread is sentient and screaming on a plane. It's like, what is that?
Well, like
Ew.
diffusion models have basically tapped into like the same like a small part of like our visual function, like our own like meat neural network to like how does like cohesive imagery in symbolic forms and shapes come together to actually make you recognize something. And like that function alone, just like discerning, like taking the noise of photons that's hitting your eyes and your brain going like, here's a shape, here's the edge of the shape, here's a line, these are connected. Like that's crazy. And like to have a computer do it and then like show you these like building blocks of like your visual processing system, like represented on screen, is really fascinating and really cool. And so when you're seeing like all these different like visual cues, you know, like
So
getting
visceral.
mishmashed,
Yeah.
it's crazy. And also like it really, you know, you talk about like older people going through the shifts of like things that they expected to be a certain way, like no, like deceptively being that way. Like the language is no longer the same, the visual language is no longer the same. Like that's for us now. Like we're used to the visual language of like nice lighting and depth of field being money, expensive production, and that visual language is changing, and like we have to deprogram ourselves, you know. Anyways, it's cool to see like visual language become arbitrary and no longer tied to money, you know. It's a weird time and a cool time. Change means opportunity, guys. I'm always jazzed up about this stuff.
I'm excited to see the final version of this Matrix shot for sure.
Yeah, me too.
That'd be really cool.
I'm excited to do some other stuff also after this.
Are you gonna do the background with a Gaussian splat?
That was the plan. That is
Okay.
the plan still. The next step, Dean managed to do the impossible yesterday. He took a hallucination and brought structure to it. He put down a cube the size of the crash mat and tracked the whole thing more or less by hand.
Wait, really?
Could it not
And-
track with software?
So we experimented with Keen Tools Geometry Tracker, which is fantastic, and it did a solid job of getting it to like 80% of the way there.
But everything is slightly changing, though, right? Those points
Yes,
that you're
'cause it's
holding
not an
onto are
actual cohesive
evaporating
geometric
and slightly
world.
tweaking.
Everything's
There's
a
no
little
consistency.
fluid, and like it's truly like somebody's dream, and you're
Yeah.
trying to motion track
You're like,
somebody's dream vision. You're like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Did you try with like After Effects camera tracker?
There's no chance.
No
Did you
chance.
try?
I tried it with a different camera tracker, and yeah,
Those points.
I'd be
It's-
curious to see how After Effects camera tracker handles it.
it gets weirdly messy.
It's like
Sure.
trying to
I-
make sense
to be
of
clear,
what
I believe
the
it.
camera is.
I think we should try it.
We
Yeah.
could try it. It'd be interesting to see what happened, but yeah, it's he managed to track the shot and get it so it looks like my feet stick to the ground, and it's just funny to see somebody take something that has like no basis in like reality whatsoever and like bring geometric rules to it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Bring geometric rules.
Oh, that's another thing Houdini's doing is they support Gaussian splatting in the viewport now.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. I've never touched Gaussian splatting.
Gaussian
myself.
splatting is cool, but it needs to be able to be lit
Yeah.
with a light
So
for it
I'm
to
like,
be
huh.
extra cool.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Me too, Christopher. Synthize is my favorite.
Synthesize, I've always wanted to try it.
I think it's after show time.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
been. This is
Yeah,
a long
we've been
podcast
rolling.
today.
All right,
Long
we're taking it to the
podcast
after
today.
show.
Well, thanks for listening, everyone, or thanks for watching wherever you are,
YouTube audience, come on over.
Whenever you are.
whenever. Well, yeah, and I always keep forgetting that like this is live on YouTube as well, with another 100 people watching live who can't comment. So
150
thank
at
you
the
all for
moment.
tuning in,
Yeah.
even though you can't comment.
Yeah,
but if you
hun-
want to comment, quarterdigital.com, you can get a free 2-week trial.
Yeah.
Less
join
than
us,
$4 a
please.
month.
Yeah,
Come
we got
join us.
150 right now. on
We
YouTube.
very much appreciate
150 on
everybody's
YouTube.
support.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Come on over, YouTubers. Join us here on the website.
Well, later,
Yeah.
YouTube. We're gonna hang out for a little bit.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
watching. We're gonna do the after show now. We're gonna keep chatting, and you're gonna miss out. And 3, 2, 1.